Right, 6TR going over to the telephone because Jack Flanagan, the bass player from Mystery Jests, is going to be there waiting for me. Hello, Jack.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. What are you up to right now?
I'm just dyeing my hair red, actually. I thought I kind of fancied a change of colour, so I thought I'd go for it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So I got you on the telephone today to talk a little bit about the Mystery Jests, because you've been with the band now, I want to say 2 years, is that right?
Yeah, 2.5 years, or maybe 3. Like, the time has just kind of flown. But yeah, it's been like about 2 or 3 years.
The band haven't had an album out for about 4 years now, so obviously you've joined in that hiatus period. So how did you end up being a Mystery Jet?
Well, I kept bumping into them all over the city, really, like in London, and we all kept going to the same parties, and then I think after a while, I said, after seeing playing at all these parties, I was like, hey man, we should probably make some music together. And it turns out we had the exact same taste in music, and he was like, well, I'd love to. And then he ended up coming into the studio with me to record some of my songs. And what I didn't realise he was doing was kind of courting me to join the Jets. And I think at the end of this kind of like long period, we went to a party together, and I think I got very drunk and just went up to him and was like, Blaine, I'll do it. He's like, mate, I haven't even asked you yet.
Pull the contract out.
I pulled my own draft of the contract down, and after that, we pretty much started recording the album straight away.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That is what a great story.
Yeah, totally. It's a great way to meet somebody. Joining a band's like meeting, fighting your girlfriends. Like it's hard to. There's a bit of dating that has to go on first, really.
Yeah, a bit of courtship, as they used to call it. So yeah, you were courted into the band.
Yeah, I got courted in, yeah.
So you just said you were making your own music, and you're obviously aware of all the Mystery Jets songs, so getting up on stage and playing things like Two Doors Down must be a buzz for you.
Oh, it's great, yeah. As a kid, I used to love all that stuff, so it's kind of like, it's really good to, obviously all those songs came out when I was in my teens, so it's really good to play them all and, look back at the past like that,
Yeah. Well, the new album, Curve of the Earth, is out now, and...
Yeah.
The band leave a bit of a gap in between albums, but I suppose this one was going to be a bit more personal.
We wanted to make a record that really sounded like us going through everything that was happening at the time of making the record, really documenting that period in time. Sorry, can you hear water?
Yeah. You carry on washing.
Hair dye on my sink. And I think we really wanted to make something that was quite of its time, and I feel like the band itself has kind of changed shapes and changed forms into all these different beats and different visited different eras of parts of music that everybody loves, and I feel like this one's the most kind of close to home in a way, and funnily enough, we recorded it 5 minutes away from all of our houses anyway, so it kind of literally was very close to home.
Yeah, and we had a taster single out late last year. Telomere was the lead single from the album. Yeah, and I've read somewhere that Blaine said that it was written after he read the Patti Smith book, Just Kids.
Just Kids, yeah. So there's a line in that book a really cool line about your ancestry, forever living on through your blood. And yeah, he kind of juxtaposition, and then he found this world. So basically, this is Patti Smith's idea. Sorry, let me backtrack a bit.
Yeah.
But basically, everyone who's ever been in your bloodline kind of stays with you for the rest of your life, and there's kind of it's one thing that the kind of conditioning of man can't take away. And then we learned about this word called telomeres, and this thing called telomeres, which are basically they're parts of your DNA. They're like shoelaces. You get the little caps of the shoelaces. They're like that. They're like those on the ends of the strands of your DNA. And as you get older, these things kind of get shorter and shorter, these shoelace caps, and they start to fray. And basically, that's kind of like the aging process in the human body. So your telomeres kind of disintegrate. Yeah. And it's also the first places where certain diseases are found in the blood. And I think Blaine just found it a very interesting concept, that kind of juxtaposition about this beautiful thing of never losing your ancestry, and and then this other thing that it can kind of will make you lose yourself,
Yeah. What an interesting concept. I'd love to be there when you're all writing, because it sounds more interesting than most of the band's writing processes.
Yeah, it's pretty far out.
Yeah, you've embarked on a small tour to promote the album, and it's been well received so far.
Oh yeah, it's been great. We kind of went to Dublin, we played the Six Music Festival, in Bristol, which was really great. Yeah, it's been really cool. Like, and it's just great to see like people singing along to the new songs and kind of like it's really refreshing actually.
Yeah.
It's really nice and nice to be on the road again. You know, like I think we all go a bit crazy when we're not playing gigs. So
Yeah.
it's nice to be doing it.
You're in the old Button Factory. That's where you are. That's your little recording and
Yeah,
rehearsal place.
We've got a Button Factory in Stoke Newington, which is now like kind of running as a studio in itself by our good friend and kind of co-producer on the record, Matt Twaite.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful space. Like we kind of found it, a bit of a miracle that we found it really. And we kind of, because we had all this equipment just in lockups, like gathering dust and getting rusty and stuff. So we just put it all, we found this space, which was sort of pretty much right opposite Blaine's house. And to put all of our stuff in it. And it's just like, it's amazing. Like,
cool. And you said like you loved the live experience. So I suppose some festivals might be in the pipeline for the summer.
Yeah, we've got a couple of festivals. There's a couple of those coming along.
We look forward to seeing the brand new Red Hair, Jack.
Yeah, I'll send you a picky.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming on the telephone and chatting to us about the new album and the tour.
No worries, man. Thank you very much for having me.